The Street Files. A complete mystery short story every Wednesday. File 3. A Late Night Visitor. Olivia Streete packs a suitcase and hails a black cab outside her flat near Tower Bridge. As it weaves through the streets of London, she rummages in her Aspinall leather bag to check that she has the invitation. She knows that the family has spent 2 years planning this event, as the wedding of Barty and Freya Dandridge's only child, Viola, was always going to be lavish. The mother, Freya, had been at Cambridge as a postgraduate, studying art history, when Olivia was in the first year of her law degree. They met on her first day, across the landing, as they both had rooms on the same staircase in Girton College. The two of them became close friends, and would study during the day, then be out most nights, in the bars and music venues of the city. So it was only natural that Olivia would be the first name on the list of guests, when Freya started to plan the wedding. Barty, her husband, was born into a family of wealth, and he went to the best schools, but failed to pass any exams at the end of his education. This was of no consequence to his life, however, and he spent his early 20s travelling around Europe before securing a job in his family finance company. One lunchtime he had been wandering in the city of London and called in to Chevening and Rutlow, a small art gallery off Lombard Street, as his mother's birthday was the week after. Freya had started in the shop a month before, and, Freya says, they fell in love on the spot. They were married in Petworth in Sussex 6 months later, and Viola was born the next June. Olivia's cab turns into a road in Chelsea called The Boltons. The Dandridges bought a house here when Viola was 2. The Boltons is an oval of large, white, stuccoed Victorian mansions that all face a single old church called St. Mary the Boltons. The church, as it is known by those privileged enough to live on the oval, is the venue for the grand baptisms, weddings and funerals of the moneyed residents. Olivia is paying the cabbie when she hears the name that Freya has always called her rolling in on the air. "Liv!" Freya runs out and they hug. "How's the bride?" "Nervous, like we all were the day before our wedding." "I wouldn't know," says Olivia. "You should have married Poppy's father. I know you were only 20. "Let's not go there, Freya." Olivia opens her eyes slightly. "Come inside, Liv." Olivia is shown her bedroom, which is light and airy on the second floor at the front, with thick carpets and a view of the church. As it's after 5 p.m, Freya opens wine and they sit in an enormous conservatory that stretches for 50 feet across the back of the house and has a gable 20 feet above their heads. Viola is a slight and blonde young woman with pale blue eyes, after which she'd been named as they looked violet when she was born. "Tell me about Geoffrey," says Olivia, referring to the groom. "He loves me," is all she says. Barty Dandridge, husband and father, is out at a dinner with clients from Singapore. "They send him on all these dinners because he's a good schmoozer," says Freya, but Olivia can see that the woman doesn't quite believe the words. She is tempted to ask about the state of their marriage, but this doesn't seem like the right moment. The Dandridge's cook is a young dark-haired French woman called Céline, who serves them pork with pistachios and soured cherries, followed by hazelnut torta. Afterwards, Viola dissolves away for a bath. "Put your alarm on, darling," calls the mother. "The hairdresser's here at 9. The women take their wine into the cream and auburn sitting room to reminisce about the music venues of Cambridge. Then they go up to bed too late. In the early hours, the skies darken over Chelsea, and spots of rain begin to appear on the windows of the houses. Olivia is deeply asleep when her mind becomes aware of an unfamiliar sound. In her dream, a bell starts to ring, somewhere in a wide green landscape. Then the picture fades and she opens her eyes. Her brain takes a second to recognize the unfamiliar room as the bell continues. Suddenly she's fully awake and the doorbell rings again. Olivia can hear movement on the floor below her. She gets out of bed and pulls on jeans and a black jumper that she brought with her in case she was staying for 2 nights. On the landing she can see lights from the ground floor, and she walks down 1 flight before she hears Freya calling out. "Who is it?" When Olivia arrives in the hallway, her friend is listening at the front door for the reply to her shouted question. "Police, madam." "Police?" Freya turns to Olivia as she stops next to her. "You'd better see what they want." She slides back the bolts at the top and the bottom of the door. Outside, the policeman is in his 40s, with dark hair and a moustache. "What is it, officer?" The rain is heavier now. "Could I come inside, madam, and talk to you?" "Have you got an ID?" she says. He pushes his hand inside his jacket and flips open his warrant card to show Freya. She peers at the photograph of a slightly younger man in the picture. "Come in then, Sergeant Mirren." She reads from the card. The water runs off his boots as he steps onto the tiles of the hallway. "Are you Mrs. Viola Dandridge, madam?" She screws up her nose. "Yes, why?" "Is this a relative, madam?" He turns to look at Olivia. "I'm a friend." "Right," he says. "Could we sit somewhere?" Freya is still uneasy. The man takes off his police helmet and looks shorter, Olivia thinks. They walk to the sitting room, and Freya indicates the sofa opposite for Sergeant Mirren. Then they all sit. "There's been a road traffic accident, Mrs. Dandridge." He pauses, but no one else talks. "Your husband." "Is he in hospital?" Sergeant Mirren flicks his eyes to Olivia, then back to Freya. "He's died at the scene, madam. I'm sorry." Olivia looks at her friend, but her face shows no emotion. "What happened?" says Freya. "Just up the road, Mrs. Dandridge. He'd parked his car, we believe, when a van came out of nowhere." "I didn't hear anything." The sergeant is thinking that a body hit by a van doesn't make any noise, but he waits for the woman to say more. "Can I see him?" The policeman pauses, not sure how to answer. "You may want to wait a while, Freya," says Olivia, reaching out and taking her friend's hand. "I think that's good advice, madam. Maybe in the morning?" He looks at Olivia, who nods very slightly to him. "I'd better be going, madam." He stands and the women do too. "This is my number, and there's another number here to call as well for support services if you want to talk to people, you know." He reaches towards her with 2 business cards in his hand, which Freya takes. He makes a polite smile. "I can show myself out." The man walks away and they hear the front door open and close. Freya is in shock. Olivia talks gently to her for a while. Then they go upstairs. "I should tell Viola. What about all the arrangements?" She looks worried. "All of that can be moved," says Olivia. "I'll go and tell her." "Shall I come with you?" The woman shakes her head. "You go to bed, Liv. We'll talk in the morning." Olivia barely sleeps for the rest of the night. She showers and dresses and goes to find her friend. The house seems empty, and there are no sounds of people anywhere. Eventually, Olivia has looked everywhere except Viola's room, and she gently knocks on the door, but there's no answer. She opens the door, and the mother and daughter are asleep on the bed, with Freya's arm around the girl. She leaves them to sleep, and Olivia drops down to the kitchen. She finds bread and fruit and makes coffee, before a key turns in the back door, and Celine arrives. In the morning light, Olivia can see that the girl is younger than she thought last night, when she'd served them dinner, and she has the palest green eyes under her brunette fringe. Olivia breaks the news about Barty. The young woman is serious but not sad.
What was he like?
The girl shrugs.
Was he pleasant?
My grandmother told me not to talk ill of the dead.
He wasn't nice to you?
Says Olivia, then adds,
I won't tell anyone.
He wasn't a good man.
What makes you say that?
He was cruel.
To you?
The young woman shakes her head.
To the girl.
Viola.
Celine just looks at Olivia, without words. A knock comes on the back door, and when Celine opens it, a hairdresser is standing there with a big smile on her face and pulling a wheeled suitcase.
It's brightening up for the big day,
she says cheerfully. Olivia explains to her what has happened, and the woman is very apologetic for being so upbeat when she arrived. After 5 minutes, she disappears again, the way she came. Celine says that she'll make breakfast for Freya and Viola and take it upstairs. Olivia finishes her food and knocks back the coffee in her cup. She wants to get out of Celine's way, so she opens the back door and walks down the side passage of the house to the street. She looks north to the scene of the accident, but it's all been cleared away. Olivia walks around the oval past the church until she reaches the junction where the two halves of the oval join back together again. Because of her years of working on investigations, she inspects the roadway for tyre markings, but there are none. There's also no evidence of residual police tape either. That would have been used to cordon off the crime scene. She thinks back to the timing of the visit by Sergeant Mirren. She didn't look at the time on her phone, but it must have been between 1 and 2 in the morning. The police tape should still be here in place. Forensics officers will have been at the scene, but it's unusual, she thinks, for a crime scene to be released so quickly.
Have you lost something?
A man's voice is behind her as she turns. He's a handsome man in his 50s. He has well-cut blonde hair and expensive casual clothes.
No,
she says.
There was an accident here last night.
Was there? I didn't hear anything. I live at this one.
He pats the wall of the house where he's standing.
Are you police?
He says.
No, I'm staying with Viola Dandridge.
Oh, yeah?
We were at Cambridge together.
Oh, so you're a beautiful artist, are you?
He smiles at her, and she returns it.
No, a lawyer. Did you say you didn't hear anything last night?
No, nothing.
Were there police here this morning?
Sorry,
he says.
There's been nothing apart from a beautiful woman coming along and asking me questions. I'm Bill, by the way.
He holds out his hand and she shakes it.
How long are you here for? Maybe we can do drinks tonight, you, me and Viola.
No, I'm afraid not.
He looks grumpy.
Married, are you?
Look, Bill, there are more important things going on.
She starts to walk away.
Catch you later,
he calls. By the time Olivia gets back to the Dandridge's house, Freya is downstairs and on the phone cancelling the caterer's limousine and DJ. She ends the latest phone call.
Viola's still crying.
It's terrible, says Olivia.
She won't talk to me. I'm too old, she says. I won't understand. Shall I call Poppy? They've seen each other dozens of times over the years. Maybe someone nearer her age? Yes, says Freya. Can you?
Olivia calls her daughter, who says she'll be on the tube straight away.
I'd like to see Barty,
says Freya.
Will you come with me?
Of course.
I don't know what to do. Where is he? Do you need an appointment or just turn up?
I'll call them, says Olivia.
Where's that policeman's card?
Freya finds the card.
You can use the phone in the study,
she says. The study is lined with mahogany panelling. A solid antique desk sits at one end of the 20-foot room with a view of the garden. Olivia sits down and dials the number.
Metropolitan Police Service?
Sergeant Mirren, please.
Sorry, madam, we haven't got a Sergeant Mirren.
Oh, have you got a Constable Mirren or an Inspector Mirren?
Inspector, yes. One moment.
Larry Mirren,
says the voice on the line.
Inspector, my name is Olivia Streete. I'm looking for a Sergeant Mirren, but the woman on the switchboard said that you haven't got one in the Met.
That's right, I'm the only Mirren,
he says.
What's it about?
Last night at about 2, we had a house call from a Sergeant Mirren.
Where was this?
The Boltons, Chelsea.
Go on.
He informed us that a man had been killed, Viola Dandridge.
And who are you again, madam?
I'm a lawyer, Inspector. I'm staying with Mrs. Dandridge, and the sergeant said that her husband had been killed in an RTA on the street outside.
In the Boltons?
Yes.
Someone's having a laugh, madam. I can see all of the crime reports here on the system in front of me. There's none in the Boltons.
Olivia's mind jumps through the events of the last day.
Inspector, could you do another look-up on your system for me?
Go on.
Can you search for deaths last night in Chelsea? She can hear him typing in the earpiece of the phone.
Oh,
he says.
One of them is Viola Dandridge, isn't it?
He ignores her question, but says,
Where are you, madam? I'd like to hear more about what you were saying.
I'm in the Boltons.
I'll be 40 minutes.
Poppy arrives at the house before the inspector does. The two mothers explain what has happened, and Poppy goes upstairs to see if she can comfort Viola. Olivia needs more coffee and goes to find Celine. As she approaches the kitchen, she can hear the girl talking in French to someone.
Don't do any more. Just leave it now.
When Olivia walks in, she sees that the man is a few years older than Celine, but with the same eyes as hers, set in a male face.
This is my brother, Henri.
He and Olivia nod to each other. I was after more coffee, she says.
I'll bring it to you.
Olivia walks out, but stops to see if they continue their conversation.
Go, Henri. Get away from here. The less you're seen about, the better.
When Inspector Mirren arrives, Olivia opens the front door, and he holds up his warrant card. He has brown eyes and nearly black hair, with tortoiseshell glasses. She leads him into the conservatory where Freya is waiting, and they sit on wicker chairs. Tell me about this visit you had from a policeman, he says, and the women describe what happened and what the man looked like. When they've finished, Mirren closes his notebook. I take it he was not a policeman, Inspector, says Olivia.
It looks like that, yes. I'll have to make some more inquiries to confirm it. Is there CCTV around here?
Freya shakes her head. Can you confirm, Inspector, says Olivia, that Mr. Dandridge is indeed deceased?
I can confirm that a body has been found in the area, but it has not been formally identified.
Can the widow identify the body for you? Says Olivia.
Of course.
I'd like to go and see him now,
says Freya. Mirren dictates an address for the mortuary, after the women turn down his offer of a lift. We'll leave in 5 minutes. We'll be right behind you, says Olivia to him, as she sees him out. She messages her daughter upstairs so as not to disturb the girls in case they are in the middle of a serious discussion. Poppy can feel her phone vibrate in her back pocket, but she ignores it. Viola is standing and looking out of her bedroom window at the water on the glass and the clouds in the sky.
I liked your dad,
says Poppy.
He was funny at those Christmas parties that our mums used to organise when we were small. He was nice in those days.
The girl doesn't look away from the window.
Had he changed then?
says Poppy.
I haven't seen him for 3 years probably. He'd started arguing with Mum,
says Viola.
getting home late every night. Mum thought he had a mistress.
She told you that?
says Poppy.
I overheard her talking to her girlfriends. They get together every Tuesday lunchtime for a bitch fest.
As my mum would say, what evidence is there?
He kept getting presents, gifts, you know. Stuff he'd never buy, too well thought out. A woman had bought them for him, I bet you.
Like what?
says Poppy. Viola does turn around now.
I'll show you,
she says. They walk out to the landing and down the sweeping stairs to the study.
Here, look, this gold bracelet thing.
She holds up a piece of jewellery from one of the shelves that line the room.
And she got him a letter opener with his initials on it. It's here somewhere.
The girl searches, but she can't find it.
Anyway, all that stuff. He was definitely playing away.
The mortuary is at the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. Inspector Mirren is waiting for Freya and Olivia, and they are taken into the family rooms to wait for Barty's body to be brought out. Olivia stands at the back as the porter brings in a trolley with a white sheet over the corpse. He pulls back the covering, and Freya only says,
Yes.
She stands for a moment, then turns and holds out her hand to Olivia, who walks to stand beside her friend. After the porter has taken Barty away, Freya wants to sit down, and they go to an outer foyer, where the inspector buys them machine coffees, and he hands one to the widow, then waits in the corridor to give her some space. Olivia leaves her friend and walks out to Mirren. I've seen many bodies, Inspector, in my line of work.
Oh, yeah?
That's not a road traffic accident, is it?
As I'm sure you know, I can't discuss
Those are stab wounds. He stops his standard wording that he has been trained to use in these circumstances. Looks like a half-inch blade, she says, and not a sharp one either. As Viola and Poppy walk out of the study, the doorbell rings and Viola pulls the door open.
Geoffrey,
she shouts, and throws her arms around her betrothed.
This is Poppy. I've known her forever.
Lovely, he says flatly. His eyes are hard, Poppy notices, as he turns to look at her. Can I talk to my fiancé alone?
Let's go in the garden.
I'll go make some tea, says Poppy, and she walks to the kitchens. On the way, she stops to look out of the window at the young couple. She's expecting to see them cuddling, but they're arguing. Celine is making bread for lunch. Poppy says that she'll make her own tea and puts on a kettle.
How did you get into chefing?
She says to the Frenchwoman.
My brother is a chef too.
All chefs are angry, aren't they? Or is that a myth?
Poppy smiles, but Celine frowns.
Sorry, it was a joke.
Celine starts to cry, and Poppy walks up to her and puts her arm around her shoulders.
Ignore my stupid humour. Not everyone gets it.
He is angry.
Celine wipes her eyes.
What makes him angry?
Men treating me badly.
What men have treated you badly?
Says Poppy.
Exes of mine. Henri attacked one of them in Paris when we grew up. The boy nearly died.
There's no one now, though, is there?
The woman doesn't answer.
Is there?
She repeats.
Monsieur Dandridge.
The words are barely audible.
What, he treated you badly?
I need this job. Henri kept on threatening to do something to stop him hassling me.
In the garden, Geoffrey hasn't calmed down yet.
Who are these people nosing around, Vi? We don't need people nosing around now that your old man has gone.
She's just a friend, Geoffrey. Her mum and mine were at uni together. Olivia's a lawyer. You'd like her.
A bloody lawyer? No bloody way. You need to get rid of them, now that you're inheriting.
What do you mean?
She looks both worried and sad.
Your dad's estate. You'll get it as his only kid.
My mum's still alive, Jeff.
You'll get something though, won't you?
No, it all goes to Mum. Like it does for any married couple.
Geoffrey is suddenly quieter. Then he says something that she can't quite hear. The two mothers arrive back in the house as Geoffrey is saying his goodbyes to his fiancée.
Not staying, Geoffrey,
says Freya.
I've got a family thing on.
No one says anything, even though they all know that he's lying. After he leaves, Viola is looking serious, and Poppy emerges from the kitchen with her mug of tea.
It'll get easier, my darling,
says her mother. She goes to cuddle her daughter, but the girl moves away.
It's fine, Mum.
She turns and runs upstairs, and the women all hear the bedroom door slam. Come and sit down, Poppy, says Olivia. She's sad and angry. Freya goes to the bathroom, and Olivia and Poppy go and sit in the lounge. Olivia looks at her daughter. Did she say anything to you earlier?
She reckons her dad was unfaithful. He got presents given to him by a woman, Viola thinks. Like a letter opener with his initials on it, but she couldn't find it.
Mourning takes on many forms. Everyone handles a death in the family differently. Freya hears the end of their conversation as she comes back in.
She was cold with Geoffrey just now, did you see? I know her. She's hiding something.
They all hear Viola's footsteps on the stairs. Then the front door slams. Freya is thinking.
Come with me,
she says, after a moment. She walks out and the others follow her. She goes up to her daughter's bedroom and walks inside. What are you doing? Says Olivia.
Something's odd.
The mother starts to rifle through the drawers. What are you looking for?
I don't know.
Olivia and Poppy look at each other, unsure of what to do. Olivia shrugs, and they start to weakly help the search. After 5 minutes, Poppy is looking under the bed when she says,
There's a box under here.
She pulls out a shoebox with a lid. Freya pounces on it. There are letters inside, and the mother starts to read them.
Love letters,
she says.
This is not Geoffrey's handwriting.
Any name mentioned? Says Olivia.
No, but listen to this.
Freya reads.
I want you tonight. My wife's away. Walk to my house at midnight. We'll have the place to ourselves. Mum?
Poppy's voice has taken on a serious edge, and Olivia looks at her. In her hand, Poppy is holding a letter opener. The blade has been rapidly and clumsily cleaned.
It's got initials. B.D. on the handle,
says Poppy. Olivia walks over to her and looks at the knife. That matches the wounds on the body. Freya makes a disgusted noise behind her. I'm sorry, Freya. Poppy, only hold it with your fingertips. And put it in this makeup bag. Olivia empties lipsticks from a bag on the dressing table. They put the letter opener inside, and she zips it up. We'll get that to the police.
What about this letter, dated a week ago?
Says Freya from across the room, still reading her daughter's correspondence.
This is her mystery man writing. My plan is going to work. We'll be together. And look, there's a name on this one. He signs it off. All my love. Bill. Freya? What, Liv?
Olivia repeats back the words. My plan is going to work. We'll be together, all my love, Bill. And earlier on in the other letter, he said, walk to my house, says Olivia.
What do you mean?
Come on. Olivia jumps up and they follow her. They slam out of the front door and she leads them around the oval to the site that she inspected first thing this morning. That house. She points to one of the vast white stuccoed homes. The group pushes through the gate. The front door is open, and the women run inside. They appear at the door of the sitting room, and the three people before them all turn to look at the same time. Bill, the owner of the house, looks shocked. Viola, standing next to Bill, is holding his hand. And the third person is the fake Sergeant Mirren. The Street Files, a complete mystery short story every Wednesday.